If you clicked on this video, you're probably concerned about your piercing. It might be red, irritated, a bunch of crusties. How do you know if it's infected? All right, the first thing I need to say is I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I am a body piercer and I've seen a lot of piercings over the years, and I'm going by my opinion. If you really think your piercing's infected, you need to seek out a medical professional. If your piercing is red, swollen, you have crusties on there, even a little bit of discharge coming out, that can be normal. Part of the healing process is inflammation, and your body's gonna create all those things. That is the normal body response. Now, there's a point when it goes too far where it's gonna start causing issues. Now, if you have any sort of pus, now the difference between pus and the normal crusties or the lymph fluids that are coming out of there, a normal lymph fluid is gonna be a clear to maybe a light yellow. And it's going to be fairly thin, and it's going to turn into a hard crusty. Now, if that starts getting really thick coming out of there, not the watery form, and it's starting to turn into a darker yellow, maybe even a grayish or greenish color, that might be signs of an infection. So that is a sure sign that you should talk to someone about checking that out. Now, another thing is redness. You're going to have redness for quite a while and the swelling for quite a while. That's normal for a new piercing. But if that redness starts turning into a red ring, kind of spreading around, or you see a red line similar to this, that is a sign that you need to see a doctor. Now, the biggest reason infections come is because people are touching or playing with their piercing. If you think about your hands touching all those things all day long, that's how they get inside the piercing. So if you're not touching your piercing, you're being clean about it, chance of infection is pretty low. Now, another thing is going to a good shop. If you went to a good shop where everything's opened in front of you, it didn't seem sketchy or kind of scary, you're in better hands. If it seemed wrong and like all those bells and whistles went off, said, I don't know how clean he was, or it seemed, there's a higher risk for infection. So choose your piercing shop very wisely. If you have a fully healed piercing, and I'm talking several months to several years, and all of a sudden it gets irritated or inflamed, that doesn't necessarily mean infection either. Sometimes they just get irritated from bumping it, sleeping on it wrong, or the wrong chemical hit it. Like if the wrong soap, fabric softener, laundry detergent, changing those things can cause irritation. There's a fine line between irritation and infection. If it's infected, again, see your doctor. Up next is going to be a series of a couple pictures which I found on the internet, which I do believe is infections. Now, as you can see here, some of these are obviously really, really bad, and they should seek out medical professionals right away. Now, the next couple series of pictures up here are piercings that I don't necessarily believe are infected, but I would want to talk to them instead. But if you just look at it, these just look really, really irritated. Again, if there's other issues, if it hurts, if you have a lot of heat coming out of there, seek out that medical professional. And another thing I really want to say is I've had a lot of people come into my shop saying they think their piercing's infected because they have a bump on their piercing. Generally, bumps don't mean infection, that means irritation. There's a big, big difference. An infection is going to be trying to push fluids and things out of the body. It's not going to create a growth on the outside of the body. Now, to sum all this up, if your piercing gets infected or irritated and it continues to get worse and worse and worse, seek help. If it just gets bumped and it gets red or irritated, give it a couple days. If it seems like it's not getting worse, it's probably just irritated. Now, if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. And of course, if you liked my video, if you learned anything, give me a like, a subscribe, and of course, keep putting holes in your body. I'll take care of you. We'll see y'all in the next video.